Hello and welcome back. And this will be part two of using Azure Functions to activate the route. So let's wrap with this session. All right. Today is Thursday and 5:29 a.m., right? And I want to do something. Let's go quickly back to pickups. And then I want to instantly search for Thursday. And we have the results. And I want you to notice that out of 33 of the results, you don't see anything that says is active to be true because it's only now 5:30. If I go to the next page, you still don't see it's active. You still don't see any of the routes being active because this is kind of like a plan to show you before exactly half past. And if we go, all right, okay. If we go to activate route, don't even necessarily have to do that, but the metrics, 7 days now. Okay, it's not gonna show me data the way I'm looking for it, but if we go here, and I believe it just fired right now. No, not yet. It hasn't. And what if we refresh? It hasn't fired yet. So the reason why I suspect it hasn't fired because I wanted the last hour. It's because we are waiting for Azure Functions to wake up, be triggered by timer trigger, and then fire. Now remember, if we go to Visual Studio Code, right, on activate route, here we say this is 3:30 locally, but as soon as it sits on Azure Functions servers, it's gonna be 5:30. There's a 2-hour delay based on different regions and where the server is and so forth. Remember, there's a city in America. It's gonna trigger this guy to send a request to a web API sitting in South Africa. I hope that makes sense. So this is why I wanted to search for Thursday. We don't have any results, but if you go back to Wednesday, which is the previous day, you will still see that they are no longer active because there is another route that deactivates, but we're not going to get into that one today. But if you want to learn how do I deactivate the route, then we will study this guy. But for now, we are focusing on activating the route. Remember, it takes the day of the week, and then it's going to serialize that particular object using JSON converter, and it's going to send along with the request to the web API. The web API, this is what we're going to finish today. It's going to receive it day of the week. Good. I just want to wait for this guy and see if we can get refresh. There's no count. Let's click here and see. Oh, it did fire. You see 5:31. If I'm staying here, it did fire January 9th, of which today January 9th, but 5:31, about two minutes ago, right? So the question is, let's do this guy and hit refresh. Remember, even if I hit refresh, there is memory caching behind this page. So let's go and check Thursday again. The results are back, and there we go. Now it's true. So this is what happened 2 minutes ago, now almost 3 minutes ago. At 5:31 a.m., there was a function that was executed only once. Hence, I'm saying there's a 2-hour delay. And that what it did is it says, listen, what is the day of the week? Day of the week is Thursday. This is what we have, Thursday. And then this is what I want us to dig deeper into. So we receive an object of day of the week, right? Which is Thursday. Then it's gonna go inside the try and catch block. This is why it's always important to have the exception block in case something failed in here. What could be number of the reasons why this would fail, right? Here it is. Azure function is still going to execute unless there's going to be delay from Microsoft Azure's side. But if my servers here in South Africa are down for whatever reason, this will be triggered, but it won't be able to reach the server, right? And that will cause problems. But if it happens that the servers are active and alive, but there's something wrong, the exception will be caught, right? And then I would know about it and nothing won't happen. And if nothing won't happen, you won't see any of the results. You won't see any of this being true. And that's going to be a problem. Do you want to see how this looks like? Let me give you a glimpse. Let's go and fire this project locally. And let's make sure that .NET let me just give you the glimpse of what just happened. Run without debugging. And then we will go back to it. So let's finish while it's still warming up. So activate route, right? We go to the service. So I said that there is an iActivate route service. So let's quickly go back there. We close Azure Function project. We go to cover the shoe underscore web. Remember, this is 2-in-1 project, ASP.NET Core MVC and ASP.NET Core Web API. So we're going to go to services. We're going to go to Azure Functions. We're going to go to activate route. And this is the interface, right? It has only one method, which is activate route async, and expecting what day of the week, right? So let's go to the implementation of it, right? You see there's still a memory cache here, and we have it, a way to talk to database. All of that is set up in a constructor. So I have this method that gets to, that we are calling, passing in day of the week. So as you can see, I have two methods. I call them helper methods. They're all asynchronous. So what happens is there is something here, right? So first I need to know, when we are doing activate route, are we doing it on pickups, and are we doing it or on drop-offs? So we're doing on both. So let me show you first. Oh, there we go. So login. There's an error that occurred. Please try again. And I believe this has to do with the timing. Let me explain what's going on here. Okay, this is something I keep on forgetting. If I go here, you will see date and time. It's a bit confused. You see, it says December 30th. That's going to be a problem. I can't set this automatically because it still will be a problem. You see, even if I say January 8th, it's still day behind, and 7th and 7th is wrong. So I don't have a way to control this for now. I don't know what happened. So, but we are on January 9, and the time is 5:38, and that's correct. Good. So now if I remove this guy, in fact I want to remove this one. Done. Okay, then let's fire again. Note it's no longer running in debug mode. It's fine. So this time it's not telling me that there's an issue because of, yes, I know why it's triggering an issue. But if you go to pickups, wait, let's go back to that timing. You see, the problem is I said this is PM, so I have to go and say AM. Apologies about that. There's something I keep on. Okay, let's fire again quickly. The nice thing though is I don't have to keep on logging in and entering my credentials. I just say log in. because it's smart enough to remember that I said just log in. All right. There we go. So the timing is correct. It's a 5:38 a.m. Well, 5:39. 1 minute difference doesn't make it that much of a heavy problem. And then it's January 9th, Thursday. So there's a correct timing. And then these are the routes that are being activated. If I tap on this one, you will see that what is the name of it? It's Saso Mapikela North. If we do correspond using this guy, Saso, there we go, Saso Mapikela North. It is the one that's currently active. As you can see, yes, it's active, but it's not a potential pickup, because like I explained yesterday, this can only be true, but that will be false. When it becomes true, this can only be false. It's a complex thing, but I'm trying to get you to understand how I've engineered this system. So this is what I want to show, that these are the now active routes. So my customers, my end users, every day 5:30, they'll get a new list of the routes that are active, where we're going to be at on that particular day. I just made an example with Thursday today, that these will be active. I don't have to touch, I don't have to go to the portal or the dashboard like this and go and do it manually, because I have the power to do so, but I do not want to do so. For example, let's go and just find anything randomly on Friday. So these are Fridays, right? So let's go Sechaba Lounge, right? I can quickly go and say edit, and I can say, is it active? I can change this. I have the power to do so. But this will be too much. Like this will be too much, because in a day I have about 11 locations that we're gonna be at, right? So I'm using Azure Functions, as you saw, that it wakes up and it triggers. And when it triggers, we are ending up in this method called activate route on both the pickups and the drop-offs. It's very important. If I go to drop-offs, same thing, it's gonna happen. So let's take a random one. Let's take the second one, which is this one. This is Engine Hadidal. So let's go and correspond that and say cancel. We want again Thursday, and there has to be Engine Hadidal. There we go, Engine Hadidal, right? It is active because Engine Hadidal is part of a Thursday route. That's why it's active. So automatically it's doing it. So I want to show you how it's doing it. So I am activating both locations, pickups and drop-offs, right? I pass in first a day of the week and I say do for both, right? So there's a method, helper method. Now this is another thing that I love about programming. We can use one method, because I only have one method, which is this one. One method. But I do a whole lot that you are seeing here on the app. A whole lot. So Thursday, pickup, then when this finishes, it's gonna go for the drop-offs. I hope that makes sense. So Thursday, pickup. If location, it's pickup, because obviously that's the same thing, you know. And then what I do is I'm gonna have a local variable pickups list, right? As you can see, it's a list of a pickups object. I'm gonna say database. Let's talk to a table called pickups, where the route name has to match the one of day of the week .toString. So remember, day of the week is an object, so I have to tell it to be in string, which is Thursday. Thursday, this guy, right? So route name has to match that one of day of the week, right? Not only that, and is active should be false, meaning that previously, before 5:30 a.m., it should be false, and its potential pickup should be false. So that's what I'm doing. This guy has to be false. This has to be false. and this has to match the condition. So this is the entire condition of where. The route has to match Thursday using toString method. It should not be active, it should not be a potential, and give me as a list. So when I have it as a list, I have to check if the count is greater than 0, meaning that at least there's something in there, there's a record. Then I do a for each. But remember, if this guy is not, for whatever reason, it's not gonna execute further, it's gonna go in else if. And else if is gonna check its location, pickup, or it's a pickup, this location is gonna be false. So it's gonna execute the first await. It's gonna go to a second one, and then obviously this will be drop-offs, right? Still Thursday, drop-offs. The first condition will skip. It's gonna go to the else part. It's the same thing, but I just want to use a helper method, right, to do literally the same thing. So let's go further. Now, once we found some records, we're gonna use a for each. For each in that looping inside that list, right? I'm gonna say this item, we're gonna activate it, and then this is the most important thing. Created on, we're gonna use the current date time. So I have a helper method. I'll make a video one day on what this helper method is. It's very important. So let's explain that. If you look at when was it created, in fact when it was executed, this is the day, the 9th, this is the month, the 1st, this is the year, 5:30 a.m. So what it did, while it was activating this particular route, it took the current date time and then it left it there. I needed it for the mobile app. Let me explain why that is important. So let's tap on any of them. As you can see, it says drop-off schedule today, yes. But let's go to a previous day. Now, the previous day is Wednesday. So stay with me. Cancel. Let's go to Wednesday. And let's use this Freedom Square cross, right? It's no longer active, but this was yesterday. So this shows that it was active yesterday on the 8th, right? 5:30, 1 second after 5 past 5 a.m. This is very important. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna search based on PID. I'm gonna copy this guy. Then I'm gonna go back to the app. The app has a function a bit for me to search. And then I'm gonna paste it. Can I paste? There we go. Yes. Then I'm gonna hit search. So we could not find the location that you search. Oh, it's because these are the pickups and I am on the drop-off page, so you won't find it. But if I go back to the pickups, search again, come on, do I have to copy? Oh, there we go. And there we go. So it found it. If I tap on it, Sasol, or well, Freedom Square Cross, I'm sorry, Freedom Square Cross. So it found it. But this is the most important thing. If you tap on it, it will say pickup schedule today. No. Last active was Wednesday, January 8, 2025. So what I'm doing with created on, taking the current date time, I want to notify the end users when was this location active, even if it's not currently active. So if I tap on this random one again, you'll see that yes, this is Zion Christian Church FN2 Namibia. Some call it ZCC. It's not currently active, but it was last active on Tuesday, January 7, 2025. This is why this was a clever move to say, let's take the current date time, but this will also be beneficial to show the end users any of these locations. If I zoom out, any of these locations, as long as it doesn't have the orange circle, this shows that they are currently active today. but the rest are not active. But you can play around and check when last they were active. I hope that makes sense. Good. So then when we are done on that item, we're going to prepare the state to say it's modified, right? And then we're going to save the changes in the database. Then what we do on the memory cache, we're going to remove on the pickups. This is why I was able to see the changes. Oh, this was a smart thing to do, because once it's fired by Azure Functions, I then clear what the cache for MVC, so that when I'm interacting with the page on that particular moment, I can still see the changes, like I saw the changes of Thursday. How that makes sense. Good. And then comes an interesting thing. Then I have an index for pickup and an index for drop off. This has to do with the home page. I'll get to it. So what I'm doing here, basically, I'm saying random. I'm using random object. It's a new way of doing it. .shared .next. So on that list of the pickups, right? Let's say I have 11 items. .count, so it's going to be 11, right? Because remember, this expects some sort of an integer, which is the max, right? So it's going to be 11 in total. So I have that value there. Then I use another helper method called update newsfeed. So this was another additional. You know what? Let's do part 3 of this. I agree. Let's do part 3. So this was all about breaking what's going on here. But let's do part 3 to talk about why there's update newsfeed, why it's important. Let me just leave you with a glimpse of what's going on. If you go to home page and you go to something else, like pickup here, why do you see bus stop 2? So it's like a marketing tool of some sort. So what I'm doing is this changes on a daily basis, because a bus stop 2, if I search for it, bus stop 2, note I'm using caps there, and then I'm using smaller letters, doesn't matter. But if I search, there is a bus stop 2, right? And it's currently active. If I tap on it, it's part of the Thursday route that we're going to be at. This is in Dr. Belcher Road. There's a bus stop 2. We're going to be there from 12 until 12:30, because I know it's a bus stop. I've been to that bus stop myself. So why is this important? It's important because what I'm saying is bus stop 2 has been added as a new location for a pickup point. This could be your chance to finally do something with those unclean and smelly shoes. Check more info on the pickups page. So you'll see bus stop 2. Just for a few seconds are left, let's play around with looking for that bus stop 2. I believe this should be bus stop 2. And I'm correct, this is bus stop 2. How do I know this bus stop 2? It's because there's a Limo Mall. I know this mall. If you know the mall, I know this cross, right? This cross. So this is the mall, this is a bus stop 2, and here will be bus stop 1. I know because there are 2 bus stops in this main road for the buses, on this road, yes. So there's 1 and there's 2, but there's a huge gap. There are too many houses there, and because it's a bus stop, I take advantage of people are always there. There's a lot of taxis that are passing right now. There's a lot of taxis. So I hope you understand what I want to do with part 3. But how do I do this randomly? Because if you go and look for the one of drop off, there's a Pumulong entrance 3. So how does it know how to do this? Because previously I would write something static, but now I don't have to do that anymore. And you know what, with part 3, I also show the page on how I actually do this. How do I get the data? How do I manipulate the news feeds, and how do I get the most recent update data? Stay tuned for part 3. Listen, this video, it's, like I said, you're going to love the series of these videos, because I'm getting deeper into the code on how I did this, what was my thought process and everything. And I'm showing you live. and I hope you will find these videos very helpful. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow just before 5:30, and we'll do another round and see how this come together, how Azure Functions is very powerful for this system, and how you should go thinking of Azure Function, but you need to be able to justify if it's gonna serve the purpose. Do you understand? I love what I did. So stay tuned for the next part, which is part 3, where we look at this method. Subscribe, like, and watch all other videos. Leave a comment, suggestion, question, anything. I'm still here. Until next time, thank you.